Hello, happy Monday. Welcome to our mindful class today. My name is Tamara Vodovoz. I am here with the University of California, Davis and the Liverpool Department. On Mondays, I teach a class that is composed of mindful meditation and slow, easy, and relaxed mindful movement. So it's a class that is open to all of you, all of us. It's easy to follow, but if you have difficulty following, please feel free to modify and change as needed. This class is meant to be a guide for you, but you can always change it if you need to. Just trust your intuition and trust what you're feeling and let that be your primary guide. I'll be playing some music later on when we start moving, but for now we will practice silence and stillness. So go ahead and clear some floor space at home. Move the furniture out to a side and bring out a blanket or a yoga mat, whatever you need to lay down on the floor to feel comfortable and also to stay warm. So if you have an extra blanket, go ahead and bring that out too so that you can stay warm during your meditation practice. For the meditation practice, we'll need a cushion. So that can be a meditation cushion like this one. This one is my favorite, but it can be any cushion that gives you some support. So you want it to be firm so that it lifts you up. You can also use a yoga block like this one. So these come in really handy also for our movement practice. So if you have yoga blocks, bring them out. If you don't have them yet, I highly recommend getting some. They're quite inexpensive and easy to find in any department store, in the exercise section, or in any sports store, you can find them. So what you can do, if you don't have a meditation cushion, what you can do is place the block on the floor and the cushion on top, and that will give you a little bit more lift. So what we're looking for in our meditation posture, and I will go ahead and demonstrate on my cushion. So what we're looking for is for our hips to be a little bit higher than our knees. So I'm going to go ahead and show you with this cushion. So you can be cross-legged if that's okay with your knees and your hips. Or you can bend your knees and take your feet back like this. So you're like straddling the cushion or the seat, whatever you have decided is the best option for you. So I am going to go ahead and cross my legs because that is where I feel more comfortable. Now the important thing is to allow the knees to come down towards the floor and the hips to slightly tilt forward. That way you'll have a natural lumbar curve. You can keep your spine straight and extended. Also notice where your head is, and notice if you're jetting your head forward, and then gently bring your head back so that it's right above your center of gravity. And now that I showed you how to get set up, I'm going to wrap my legs and feet with the blanket because I am a little bit chilly. So definitely feel free to get cozy and wrap yourself up as needed. Because once we stay still, the body temperature can drop a little bit. So you might not feel cold yet, but you can feel cold very soon. So definitely make sure that you're warm enough. Okay. Now that we found our seat, oh yes, and I forgot to mention, if sitting on the floor is not comfortable for you, you can sit on a chair, on a couch, on the edge of your bed, but just don't lean back. We'll do that later, but for the meditation, stay upright. And this is important because we want to stay awake and we want to actually be in full awareness and full presence of our meditation experience, not fall asleep. And if you find yourself falling asleep, then maybe you just need to take a nap. So go ahead and do that first, and we can practice meditation and movement afterwards. So please, please, if your body is asking you for something in particular, listen to that and give it what it needs. Okay, so now sitting for meditation, you can rest your hands on your thighs. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a few long, deep breaths. Exhaling through your mouth, letting out a sigh. And feeling where you are, feeling your seat, and allowing yourself to sink in, drop in, get heavy, get relaxed, let go. Bringing the energy of our mind down into our body. And that means, what I want to mean by that is, most of the time, and especially if you are a student or you work full time, a lot of our functioning happens up in the brain. So we have a lot of energy going on in our mind, our thinking, problem solving, strategizing, planning, everything we do in our mind. There's a lot of energy that's up here in the head. So in this practice, the invitation is to allow the mind to take a break. Let it go on the passenger seat now, and let the rest of the body now be in control, if you will. Let the rest of your body now drive your experience. So if you can just imagine that all the energy, all the movement in the brain suddenly sinks down into the rest of the body, and bring your awareness now to, let's say, the heart center or the belly. So lower parts of your body. So let's go ahead and bring our attention to our heart center. Breathe into the chest. Exhale, release the muscles of the breath, release the ribs. And feel now any sort of sensation around the heart area. And that includes also the back of the heart, the mid-back. See if you can feel the warmth of the heart area. Maybe even feel the heartbeat. Notice if there's any tightness, if you can perceive any tightness in your chest or in your back. And those observations are without judgment. We're just noticing what is real and what our body is experiencing in this moment and in this area. Take 3 full breaths, feeling how the chest expands and releases. And take a deep, expansive inhale into your chest. Exhale through your mouth. And now let's bring our awareness down to our belly, to the lower region of our body. And if it helps to bring your awareness there, to bring your hands and feel your belly, just gently letting your hands rest on your belly. Notice any sensations now in this area of your body. One thing that is pretty obvious is the breath. So even though our breath happens in the thorax, in the chest area, the abdomen still moves when we breathe because of the change in the pressure of the cavities between the abdomen and the thorax. So the abdomen also moves as we breathe. Notice that subtle sensation of the ebb and flow of the breath affecting also your internal abdominal organs. Notice if you can feel the warmth of the digestive organs working. Maybe even any kind of movement in the organs. Maybe some little stomach or intestinal grumbles. Just noticing the incredible intelligence of the body. How the digestion happens without us having to plan, execute, do anything. We don't have to be in charge of digestion. It takes care of itself. I will allow us some space of silence here to become curious and investigate the sensations in this area of our body. Deep breath into the belly, letting go. We'll hold quiet stillness for another 3 minutes. And in this time, you can bring your awareness to any part of your body, any sensation that you can perceive, and just observe. In this way, we scan our body and become very familiar with its sensations. And take a deep breath. Exhale through your mouth. And slowly open your eyes, open your hands. On your next inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. And 2 more big breaths like this, reaching up, expanding. Exhale. Drawing everything down into your center. 1 more. And having a moment of gratitude, bowing to yourself, and letting this practice, or honoring this practice as something that's really for your personal care and well-being. So really having a moment of gratitude for taking this time for yourself. So let's slowly come out of our meditation seat and take the cushion out and leave it to the side, and we will use it later to do some, get into some restorative poses. So definitely keep that handy. And I would like to share with us today some music from DJ Soul Rising. So go ahead and come to the floor, either blanket or yoga mat, and let's start moving. Let's see if I can connect it to the speaker.
Battery 5. Connected to
Oh, sorry about that. My computer and speaker like to talk to each other. So let's come to the floor. Keep your yoga blocks, if you have your yoga blocks, keep them nearby. Come onto all fours. Make sure that you have enough padding for your knees. Let your head hang. Sway a little bit side to side. And now making circles with your belly button. So take your torso to the side, then round your back, take it over to the other side, come through the bottom, and repeat. Move your head as well. And change direction. Back to center. On your inhale, come forward, bring the hips forward towards the floor, shoulders back, chest open. On your exhale, take the hips all the way back towards your heels. Inhale forward, exhale back. Breath. Last one. Keep your hips back towards your heels, widen your knees, reach your arms forward and bring your chest down towards the floor. Take a deep breath. And come forward onto your belly. Bring your legs back together. Staying on your forearms, bend your knees, and sway your feet side to side. And just noticing the different sensations in your body. extend the legs. Take the hands to the floor. Wider than your shoulders. Bend the elbows. On your inhale, lift the chest. Shoulders back and down. Exhale, bring the chest back to the floor. Repeat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Twice more with your breath. Make a pillow with your hands. Shake your hips side to side. And take the hands wide again. Lift your right leg. Bend the knee. Now lift the hip and rotate so that you can reach the floor behind you with the right foot. And return to center. Repeat to the other side. Inhaling to twist. Exhale to come back to center. And keep going side to side. Chest back down to the floor. Extend your left arm out to the left. Palm facing down. Lift the right leg. Open it up. Reach it back. And hold here. Come back to center and let's go to the other side. So now right arm extends out, palm facing down. Press your left hand into the floor, lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip and roll it back. Breathe here. Noticing any interesting sensations, any interesting stretching. Taking deep breaths. And slowly come back to center. Press back into child's pose. Knees wide. Reach the arms forward. Slowly come up to sit. So keeping the knees wide. Point your toes so that you can sit back on your heels. Let's open up the left arm. Reach it back and bring it down to the floor. Now this is a good time to maybe use one of your blocks to create a little bit more lift and a little bit more space. Reach the arm behind you and with the other hand, feel the pectoral muscles. These muscles here between the shoulder and the chest. They can get very tight. So notice breathe into this area. And with your right fingers, do gentle circles with a little bit of pressure. You might find some very tender areas there. And it's interesting to notice where we keep our body tight, where there's tension, and as we bring awareness to this area, perhaps we can also come into a new sense of this spot. Create a little bit more opening, maybe now that we know that it's tight, move it a little bit more, adjust our posture. All right. And now keeping the left hand pressing either on your block or onto the floor. Go ahead and take a deep breath, lift the hips and reach your right arm up and over. And here you can gently move your head, feeling also the neck. And let's bring it down. Let's go to the other side. Opening the right arm and bringing it either to the floor or to your block. And massaging the pectoral area. These muscles can get very tight when we spend many hours on the computer, on the desk, any kind of manual work also, because everything we do is in the front of our body. So these muscles generally are overworked. So it's very nice to give them a little bit of love, a little bit of massaging, so that they can find more ease. Allow us to flow better. And now keeping the right hand on the floor or on the block. Inhale, reach up, lift the hips, open up the front of the body. Big breaths. Maybe moving also the neck a little bit. Noticing what that feels like. And bring it back down. Come on to all fours. And into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Maybe even press the top of your toes a little bit into the floor. Loosen up the toes and the feet. Take your feet wide. Bend the knees. Shift side to side, bending one knee, then the other, side to side. And slowly walk your hands back towards the feet. Cross the arms, holding on to opposite elbows, and sway a little bit side to side, letting your torso drop and hang heavy. And slowly, keeping your knees bent, start to lift to roll up to standing. All right. So your feet wide. Let's take a few shoulder circles. Shoulders back and down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take your right wrist, pull it over to the left. Inhale, come up. Take the left wrist, pull it over to the right. Inhale, come up. Take the right wrist, pull it to the left. Bend the knees and go all the way through in a big circle. Repeat 2 more circles, bending the knees to come through. And at the top, change the direction, pull the left wrist to the right, and 3 big circles all the way through. Moving with ease and flow. And release. I'll bring your arms behind your back and interlace your fingers like this. Now, if it's really hard for you to get the arms behind you, you can hold on to a towel or a blanket or a sweater and hold it with your thumbs out to the sides like this. Once you have your arms back, so either interlacing your fingers or holding your towel, keep the feet wide, bend the knees a little bit, open the chest, take a deep breath, shoulders back and down. On your next exhale, hinge your hips back, keeping the chest open and fold forward. Letting the arms come up and overhead. Take big breaths here. Keep lifting the shoulders away from the ears. Let the head drop. One more big breath. And exhale, release the arms and reach them now forward. So if you have your blocks, you can hold on to your blocks. Keep the feet wide, feet parallel to each other. Lift the toes and take your hips back as if you were going to fall on your butt. But counter reach with your arms forward. Lift the belly away from the thighs. Lengthen the spine and take deep breaths to the back of the heart, the back of the lungs. Breathe and expand the lungs. One more big breath. And release. Move your blocks away. Bring the feet back hip width apart. And lower the knees, coming down to your belly. Make a pillow with your hands and take deep breaths. All right, let's slide your right knee out to the right. I will tilt the camera down so we're more focused on the floor again. Okay. knee out. Right knee out to the right, 90 degrees. Knee bent also 90 degrees, foot flexed. And you're welcome to stay low with your head down or to come up on your forearms for a deeper stretch. You get to assess what is the best degree of sensation that's appropriate for you to get today. Go ahead and bend the left knee and make circles, draw circles with your left foot. Noticing the sensations here. Go the other direction. Take a deep breath, extend the spine. And with your left hand, reach back and catch your left foot. Push the foot into the hand, creating a bow action, like you're about to shoot an arrow. And then bring the foot in towards the glute. And remember, you're welcome at any time to bring your head down towards the floor. Another option here, if you cannot catch the foot with the hand, use the blanket or the towel that you just used before to lasso the foot and bring it in towards your body. So you can even bring, if it's a long blanket, you can bring it over your shoulder. And that way you can pull your foot in towards your body. Still flex the foot, create action and sensation. Hold there, take a few deep breaths. And let's move on to the other side. So go ahead and extend both legs. Bring your head down, shake your hips side to side. And now let's take that left knee out to the side. And bend the right leg and draw circles. Change direction. Remember, you have the option of catching the foot with your blanket or reaching back with the right hand. Kick the foot into the hand or the blanket. And then press it in towards the hips. Finding your own degree of stretch and sensation here. You can also lower the head down. And release, extend your legs, shake your hips side to side. And let's roll over to our back. Extend the legs, shake them out. floor. Hook your thumbs like you're making a little butterfly. Reach the arms up overhead and lift your hips. Deep breaths. And slowly bring your hips down, hug your knees into your chest. And take your knees wide, rocking side to side. Turn your feet to the floor. And now take your feet a little bit more away from your hips and bring your feet together. Flex the feet, spread the toes. So notice that my knees are not bent in, feet close to the hips, but they're quite far away. And keep the heels pressing into the floor, nice and strong. Bring your arms out to the sides. Press your fingertips into the floor. Shoulder blades down your back so that the neck stays long and has a natural curve. So there should be space underneath your neck. Press the back of the head into the floor. Keep your chin parallel. And as you inhale, breathe into the back of the ribs and press them into the floor. As you exhale, gently bring your belly in towards your spine, low ribs down. And take the hip bones, the front tip of your hip bones back. So instead of arching your low back, it's the opposite. So press the low back down into the floor. Let's take a few breaths here, creating that action in our body. And as you're ready, lift the hips just a couple inches off the floor. So now my hips are floating off the floor. Keep same breath pattern as you inhale. Press back of the ribs into the floor. Exhale, bringing the front hip bones up and towards the ribs, belly in. Squeeze the legs together, spread the toes. A little bit of effort here. Now, keep the body as it is, but bring all 10 fingertips together like you're holding a little sphere in your hands. And take the arms up overhead. Still breathing, keeping the hips up. A little bit more effort here. One more big breath. And slowly lower the hips down. Hug your knees into your chest. It's a little bit hard, that pose, but it's very good to decompress the spine and really wake up all the energy in our core. Let's take a little break and we'll repeat that same pose we did before. We'll add a little bit something to it. All right. So taking your heels down to the floor, feet flexed, toes spreading, squeeze the legs towards the midline, and let's start already holding this sphere in our hands. And take it up and overhead. Lift the hips. Practice your breath. Inhaling towards the back body, exhaling, bringing the belly in towards the spine. And now slowly pivoting on your heels. Shift side to side from the hips. Noticing how that feels in the low back. Takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of muscular engagement, but it's really good for us. And bring it down, hug the knees in. All right. Now, either with your yoga block or your cushion, bend the knees, press the feet into the floor, lift the hips, and let's bring a block or a cushion under the sacrum. Take the feet wide so that we can let the knees knock in towards the midline. So there's minimum effort here to keep our legs up. And we can stay nice and low like this. Or if you are inclined to have a little bit more sensation, you can bring a cushion on top of the block. And that gives us a little extra padding too, so it's more comfortable. And let the top hip bones roll towards your ribs so that our low back has a nice extension. We're going to give our low back a little break here. And you can bring your hands to your belly. Close your eyes and relax your organs. Relax the belly. Just allow yourself to sink in here. Exhale through your mouth. And let's slowly come out. Lift your hips so you can push your props out. Roll over to your side and come up. So now using very similar props, this time we'll include a couple cushions to come under our knees. So bring your feet together, knees apart, like in a diamond shape. And I am going to add here the covering of the feet. So if you're cold, should definitely cover the feet so that you can really relax into it. So let's use all the cushions we have available. So either blocks or cushions. Here I'm going to use 2 blocks to support my back, and I'm going to add an additional cushion to the second block. Now you're welcome to adjust with whatever elements you have available at home. The important thing, what we're looking for here, is to have an opening of the chest. So here, if you noticed, I've moved this second block to a higher angle. So here it's low, here it's a little bit higher. And I'm going to add another cushion on top. It's also important that our head is supported so that it's not hanging back, but it has support so it can let go and still be in a natural position. So I am going to reach over for another cushion to place it back here so that my head is supported. And then slowly you can lower back. Use your hands to come in gently and slowly. And find your comfort zone here. So definitely feel free to come out, adjust anything that doesn't feel right. You want to be very relaxed here, very comfortable. And let the arms rest out to the sides, chest open. We'll stay here for a few minutes. So make yourself really, really comfy. And look for the sensation that brings you into a place of release, of ease. Remember, the head should not be hanging, the head should be supported. And let go. Take a deep breath. Exhale through your mouth. And slowly roll over to a side so you can remove the props from your back. And now extend your legs with the cushions under your knees, allowing your spine now to stay flat on the floor. Keep the arms a little bit away from your body, shoulder blades down the back. Let yourself sink into the floor and drop in. To your belly, coming into awareness of the belly, taking a few breaths here, and then bringing your hands to your chest, coming into the awareness of the chest area. Taking a couple deep breaths here. And slowly coming to your side to roll up to seated. Thank you everyone for following and practicing with me mindful meditation and movement. It's lovely to know that we are together in this practice. So if you feel inclined to send me a note or a message and comment on how these classes work for you, I would be delighted to hear from you. So much gratitude, and I will say with this thank you and goodbye, and I will see you soon from another time and space. It's a surprise. I'll be transitioning to another part of the world, but I'll still be with you connected on this platform. So stay in touch, keep moving. Ciao, ciao.